Yes, Marv.
Did you see while we were on break that Bronny, top 10 projected pick in the 2024 draft?
Yep.
Windhorst said it on our show. I was like, I didn't realize he would be that high.
Well, Brian Windhorst joined us before we went on break, and he said, you're going to be surprised at the grade that he's going to get by ESPN's draft expert. And I thought, okay, first-round draft pick. And then when we got done with the show, I was contacted by somebody at ESPN. They said, how about top 15? I go, really? And then I think it ended up that he's a top 10 pick so far. Yes, Eden?
Yeah, I saw something right while we were on the break that he had just, in the last year or so, his game has he's added like this level of explosiveness that wasn't there. He grew a little bit. He filled out defensively. He's a much better player. That he's really figured something out in this past year.
Yeah, I thought his younger brother would be the star because he's got height. They obviously have athleticism, but I watched Bronny play, and I always do this test. If somebody doesn't know LeBron James' son is playing, I always say, pick out LeBron James' son. And they rarely pick Bronny because you're picking the best player on the floor, and Bronny doesn't stand out. He's 6'3", but he's a good player. I mean, he's a really good player. But I don't know how that translates to the NBA. Like, what does he do really well that he's going to find a spot for a team? And I'm not quite sure. I haven't talked to somebody who studied this. Just, I'm reading the reports like everybody else. But when I do watch him, it's like when I watched LaMelo when he was a freshman in high school. And he had size. He had no discipline whatsoever. But I thought he was going to be the best player out of the family because he could shoot. He had a handle. He had some height. And he had some swag to him. And then he goes to Europe, comes back, and he was must-see TV there for a while. You can see this sometimes, and then other players where you go, I did not see that at all. Or they're really good, like Purvis Ellison was great his freshman year at Louisville. I just don't know if he got any better after his freshman year at Louisville. But then you'll have these guys where you go, that guy was kind of good. Wow, have you seen him now? That guy who gets to be 22, 23, 24, and they're a completely different player than when they were 18 or 19. Yeah, Paul.
This is like a two-part question. Can an NBA franchise look at Bronny James basketball only? Or are they going to be compelled to, in the business side of it, say, like, we're drafting the most famous 18-year-old on earth, basically? If you look at it, I don't know how many people are more famous than him that play sports on earth. Like, if you're the 10th pick of the draft, Washington, the 10th pick this year, they took Johnny Davis of Wisconsin. I don't know how many ticket sales Johnny Davis drove. If they had the 10th pick next year and took Bronny James, all of a sudden you're going to send out thousands of season tickets. You have a household name coming in when none of these guys are household names. And doesn't that set up Bronny James for being a disappointing player by being taken higher than his basketball abilities maybe should?
Yes. I think LeBron lived up to the hype and then some. Bronny didn't bring this on himself. He's just, his dad is, LeBron James. But here's LeBron at 15, 16 on the cover of Sports Illustrated. You're the chosen one. You're the king. Well, you better be damn good. Bronny, we're just looking at and going, all right, let's see what you have. I don't know. I don't know what he does really well. And he might just do a lot of different things. But if I'm a team and I'm like Washington, sure, I'd take him. Now, I don't think LeBron is going to automatically go to that next team. Like, he wants to play with Bronny. And maybe I was under the impression LeBron thought maybe Bronny doesn't get drafted, therefore he can join the team that LeBron is on. But if he's a top 10 pick, well, that changes things. Yes, Marv.
I think Bronny's known around the high school community or whatever. I think he's known as a shooter, like a 3-and-D guy. I think he's a really good defensive player and a really good shooter. So he might be a 3-and-D guy. I don't know much else about him game-wise.
Yeah. But he does have some highlights. It's just, you're comparing him to his dad, which is an unfair comparison, obviously. Yeah, Paul.
Sometimes this coverage of him feels like wishful rankings. Like, he is ranked, if you look at these ranking lists, he's in the 30s, 40s, and 50s of high school players. But when they announced the McDonald's All-American team is led by Bronny James, no, there's 20 guys better officially ranked than him. There was this summer league thing going on and said, it's going to be led by LeBron James' son. They didn't even put his full name in it. It just said LeBron James' son. The coverage may do him a disservice, and he can't control it.
Who has a better chance at success, Tiger Woods' son or LeBron James' son? Because you watch Tiger's son, and he's Tiger. I mean, he doesn't hit as far, but attitude, swing, all of those things. And it feels like in golf, it's just you. You develop you. I don't have to worry about my competition. Nobody's guarding me. Bronny is not going to be 6'7", 6'8", like his dad. All right. Can he lead a team? Is he a starter? Is he a 3-and-D guy? I don't know. And maybe Jalen Rose will have some insight into that. But Bronny jumped up pretty quick because I think he went from ranked 24th in his class to now he might be a top 10 draft pick. That's pretty wild.